Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Victory Theater Bare Bones production of Backstory, a night of true stories, poetry, and flights of fancy. Tonight's theme, you can't take it with you. The definitive feel-good play of all time. The play centers around, pay attention because there will be a test. It centers around a quintessentially wise old grandfather, Martin Vanderhoff, who's about to lose the family home due to tax evasion, and his quintessential ingenue of a granddaughter, Alice, who's about to get engaged. In between those two, living under the family roof, are Alice's sister, Essie, who ballet dances everywhere she goes, usually to the piano compositions of her husband, Ed, when he's not publishing seditious literature on his printing press in the living room. And their mother, Essie and Alice's mother, Martin's daughter, Penelope, who gave up her passion for painting when a typewriter was mistakenly delivered to their house, and she has been trying to write scripts ever since. And her husband, Paul, who makes fireworks in the basement with some Italian guy who delivered ice to the house some years ago and decided to stay. There's also Essie's daily Russian ballet teacher, Kolenkov, who still misses the Tsar, and his friend, the deposed Grand Duchess Olga Katrina, who is now working as a waitress in a two-bit diner. Lastly, but definitely not least, are the quintessentially colored help. The Rocks, who keep the place from falling apart. Donald and his wife, Reba, their housekeeper, who does the cooking, keeps the house in some semblance of order, and who basically raised all of the children. We will hear from Reba in a little while. Okay, now, I would love to get cast as Grandpa Martin. I mean, I think I'm almost old enough. But it'll never happen for me. I don't think I possess the venerability that he embodies. But he's got a speech at the end. One line that really got me thinking. He says, "How many of us would be willing to settle when we were young for what we eventually get?" I have a men's group that I meet with monthly for the past 30-some years, and that was actually our topic of conversation at our last meeting, the expectations of youth. And I couldn't get into it. See, the thing is, I have never, not as a kid or at any other time in my life, set a single goal for myself. Never had a concept, let alone a care of what my future might bring. With one exception. When I was first getting together with Lori, my wife, I saw us old together. But other than that, I've just pretty much kept my eyes on the road ahead of me, except, of course, for the times I fell asleep at the wheel. So it's all really kind of a cool surprise that at 71 years old, I've got a great family. I've had a modestly successful career in the acting business. I've created a company that brought theater to literally millions of kids and given jobs and training to hundreds of actors for the past 36 years. I've paid off my house, and though there's a few things I'd like to apologize for, I have virtually no regrets. In Grandpa Martin's words, I have a lot of fun. Time enough for everything, read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, practice my darts, even have the time to notice when spring comes around, don't see anybody I don't want to, don't have 6 hours of things I have to do every day before I get 1 hour to do what I like in, and I haven't taken bicarbonate of soda in 35 years. What's the matter with that? Nothing's the matter with that. That's where I'm at. And though it does feel like a surprise because I don't feel like I ever plotted the path to this place in my life, still, it feels familiar to me because honestly, it's pretty much how I've lived my whole life. I've never done anything I didn't want to. have nothing but good people come into my life, and I've basically just said yes to anything that's popped up in front of me. It's been a road, certainly not a straight one, and lots of detours and dead ends and backtracking, and it's never been peaceful, which is probably the one thing that distinguishes it from where I am right now. That now I have finally found some semblance of peace. But bottom line, I have stayed true to my path. And what does that mean? Staying true to a path that you don't know where it's headed. I guess just faith in the journey, hoping for something cool around the next bend, lots of love along the way, and being here now. And yet, with maybe 20 years of life left ahead of me, I find myself thinking in ways totally unfamiliar to me. What should I do now? What should I do next? Should there even be a next? I've worked hard all my life. Don't I deserve a life of leisure now, or am I just being derelict? And is this now the time I have freedom to really create, or have I burned all my creativity away? And what is this deteriorating body? And what about this increasing pain? And what if my mind, which has never been all that sharp to begin with, begins to go? And what about death? How am I going to die? Suddenly, with very little future ahead, it's all about the future. And I really don't know how to deal with it.